Hello and a warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Prime in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. President Bola Tinubu has announced the appointment of the Group Managing Director of Mojek, Chantel Abdul, as one of the non-executive directors on the board of the Ministry of Finance, Incorporated, MOFI. The ministry is an investment vehicle of the federal government to manage investment and a diverse portfolio of over 130 asset classifications, including government-owned entities, GOEs, and government-linked companies, GLCs. Commenting on her appointment, Chantel, who transformed Mojek into a metering empire, evolving it into a conglomerate that stands as the largest electricity meters in sub-Saharan Africa, said as one of the directors, this appointment gives her the opportunity to contribute her expertise to address several economic challenges and spur a renewal of the economy. The Citizens Town Hall engagement on the 2024 budget and appropriation process has started in Abuja. The event, put together by the House Committee on Appropriation and the Program's Coordinating Unit, Office of the Speaker of Representatives, attracted many personalities, including the chairman of the Appropriation Committee, Kabir Abubakar, his deputy, Iduma Enwo, and immediate past National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, Iola Omishore, among others. In his welcome address, Kabir stated that the purpose of the gathering was to enhance citizens' involvement in the appropriation process. The town hall is important in promoting the integrity of the budgeting process. The federal government is seeking the partnership of the United Arab Emirates Red Crescent Authority to implement the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu's policy and humanitarian response in Nigeria. Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, made this known when she visited the acting Secretary General of the UAE Red Crescent, Hamad Al-Junaibi, on the sideline of COP28 to foster partnership between the two countries. Edu, who commended the UAE Red Crescent Authority for their impact in the region, appealed that it is time to expand their intervention to Nigeria and other countries. Responding, the acting Secretary General of UAE Red Crescent Authority, ERCA, His Excellency Hamad Abdullahi Al-Junaib, said the ECA was pleased to work with the Nigerian government through its humanitarian and poverty alleviation community policies and initiatives. Some of the specific areas of partnership requests include the regional humanitarian hub system, durable shelter, nutrition, safe water, access to quality health care and grants to vulnerable for livelihood, among others. The federal government has released the sum of 135,479,884,677 naira 2 kobo as reimbursement to states and the Federal Capital Territory FCT after the second independent assessment of results achieved under the Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus, a World Bank assisted performance for results program. The national coordinator of NG Cares program, Abdul Karim Obaje, who announced the disbursement in Abuja, said the funds were disbursed based on the results achieved by the state and FCT in their efforts at supporting poor and vulnerable Nigerians under the NG Cares program. Representatives Committee on Public Accounts, PAC, has demanded the chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, appear before questioning over the alleged recovery of COVID-19 intervention funds released to all federal health institutions across the country. Chairman of PAC, Bamidele Salah, made the demand after the investigative hearing into the utilization of multi-billion naira approved for the implementation of various projects in various health institutions. The PAC chairman frowned at the level of disregard for extant financial regulations as well as Public Procurement Act, which stipulates deductible taxes from contracts awarded by public institutions. And the National Youth Service Corps NYSC Foundation has taken steps to empower youths in the country with the disbursement of 400,000 naira loan for each of the 7
General
distinguished
Ahmed,
corps members selected to enable them to invest in their preferred business, speaking at the disbursement ceremony at NYSC Directorate Headquarters at the Gowan House, Abuja. The NYSC Director General, Yusuf Ahmed, advised the beneficiaries to be prudent in their usage of the loans. Global Television's correspondent Anthony Mamadou tells us more.
General Ahmed, who was represented, warned the beneficiaries to be prudent in the usage of the loans received as they are meant to pay back, thus the need to be steadfast and successful.
To further improve the quality of the Nigerian youth. Because a youth that doesn't have meaningful engagement, that doesn't have a business, that is not employed, cannot be expected to contribute to the development of any nation.
A fulfillment of our pledge. That pledge publicly in the presence of the last president. And the NYSC Foundation is committed to redeeming that pledge.
We all have to find a way to add up something to make the system work. And we are just making our own contribution from it. From the bit we can make the contribution, we believe that it will make an impact to change the situation of the economy.
The beneficiaries of the loans expressed their appreciation for the loans with a promise to judiciously use the loans for their personal success and that of the foundation.
We are going to make the best out of this seed capital, and we promise to make good use of it, and we know that at the end we shall all represent this nation as youths that have been empowered.
They're supposed to start a business, they're supposed to run the business, and we give them a 3-month moratorium before they start paying. They have a 3-month period to run the business, start up the business, and on the 4th month, they start paying us for a period of 2 years.
The National Youth Service Corps Foundation steps to empower youth in the country with the disbursement of 400,000 naira loan is no small drive in improving not just the economic fortunes of the citizenry, but the nation as a whole. Anthony Mamadou, Global Television, Abuja.
A federal high court in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to identify within 90 days its officials involved in the registration of the underage during the continuous voters registration exercise in polling units across the country. Justice Obiora Egwuatu, in a judgment, also directed the culprits to be produced and handed over to the appropriate law enforcement agency for investigation and possible prosecution. Justice Egwuatu equally made a mandatory order compelling INEC to expunge forthwith from its national voters register the names of all the underage voters from each of the polling units across the Federation, published on her website as identified and compiled by the plaintiff in Exhibit A attached to the affidavit in support of the originating summons. The judge further made a mandatory order compelling the Commission to furnish the plaintiff with a certified true copy, CTC, of the cleaned-up National Voters Register of all the persons eligible to vote in Nigeria within 90 days. Troops of Operation Desert Sanity in Maiduguri, Borno State, have arrested 3 soldiers for allegedly stealing ammunition. They were arrested during a covert operation at the motor parks along Jimitsulo Road in Maiduguri. According to reports, 2 of the soldiers were heading to Makodi while one was traveling to Abuja. One of the soldiers, who said to have concealed the ammunition in a bag of rice, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Buba Edward, could not be reached for comment as calls to his lines were not answered. He had also yet to respond to a message sent to him on the matter as of the time of filing this report. The Nigerian Army has taken responsibility for Sunday's airstrike that left many villagers killed and several others injured at Tudunbiri village in Kaduna State. Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arunwa, said this is at the end of an emergency security meeting on Monday. It was earlier reported that on Sunday night, while the villagers were marking the Maulud celebration to commemorate the birth of Prophet Muhammad, An unarmed aerial vehicle bombed some parts of the community, killing a yet-to-be-ascertained number of individuals. Following the incident, the Kaduna State government convened an emergency security meeting chaired by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Hadiza Balarabe, on Monday. It was at the meeting, which was attended by heads of security agencies, religious and traditional leaders, and representatives of the Tudunbiri community, that core details regarding the incident were revealed. Addressing journalists after the security meeting held behind closed doors, Aruwan explained that the bombing of the villagers was unintended and unfortunate. The commissioner explained that the troops of the Nigerian army were on a routine mission against terrorists in the area when the operation accidentally affected members of the community. He also disclosed that search and rescue operations were ongoing while those injured were rushed to the Barodiko Teaching Hospital for treatment. Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Ahmed Audi, has tasked security agencies to collaborate in order to evolve strategies aimed at addressing security threats, thereby fostering seamless synergy. Audi gave the charge during a two-day workshop for security agencies in Abuja, titled Promoting Collaboration Among Security Agencies for Heads of Security Agencies in Some Select Nigerian States. Global TV's correspondent, Subra Usman, was at the workshop and brings us more details.
Dr. Abubakar Audi said there's need for evaluation of security strategies that can pull resources and expertise together in tackling the various security challenges bedeviling the nation, and hence the workshop is apt. He urged heads of security agencies to promote interagency cooperation and stop agency rivalry and build security capacity.
It's organized, with an objective of bringing all security agencies together to harp on the discussion on solutions, security and safety for Nigerians, as far as this administrative company is concerned. And so I think we're on the right path. We're on the right path. Going forward, you will see more strategies put in place more conspicuously to actually go further to degrade the insecurity situation.
Deputy Resident Director Conrad Adenua Stiftung Nigeria, Lucas Libo, says the training will foster interagency conflict resolutions and build harmonious relationships.
So what we are aiming with this seminar is to better interagency collaboration and coordination, and we hope that with this seminar the agencies and the head of agencies will get to know each other better and have a better understanding, to know each other better will be the basis for better collaboration, coordination and cooperation, and we are sure with this seminar the security agencies can be a better part to better the security situation in Nigeria.
Speaking on the topic rule of law and security sector governance, Dr. Uju Agomo appealed to security agencies to observe rule of law and not abuse the law of the land. Swabwa Usman, Global Television News, Abuja.
Thousands of temporary J-Teach teachers under Jigawa State embarked on a peaceful protest and disrupted the aptitude test organized by the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, for the recruitment of 6,000 teachers. Chairman of the board, Haruna Musa, reportedly escaped death in one of the centers at Federal University Dutse. The candidate had protested over alleged plan by some officials to hijack the recruitment process against Governor Umar Namadi's instruction for a transparent process. Speaking to newsmen on behalf of the aggrieved J-Teach candidate, Abbas Ojara said 4,500 of them were recruited last 2 years, and in the process they underwent 5 different aptitude tests and 3 verification exercises. According to him, subjecting them to another round of tests with freshers raises suspicion that the organizers of the test have a hidden agenda. The management of University of Calabar, UNICAL, has suspended the new charges and levies it announced earlier till further notice. This is coming on the heels of the peaceful protest by students of the institution on Monday over a decision of management to increase their tuition fees and other levies. In a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer of the University, Effiong Eyo, the management announced that it has suspended payment of school charges till further notice. A release issued by the Registrar of the University of Calabar, Gabriel Legbe, disclosed that the directive is coming on the heels of a protest embarked upon by students of the institution over the recent adjustment in undergraduate school charges. Recall that the management of the University of Calabar announced an increase in the university's tuition fees for undergraduates by over 100%. The announcement, which was made in a statement available to newsmen on Monday through the institution's spokesman, Effiong Eyo, said the upward review of the fees was taken at an emergency meeting of the university's Senate on Friday, and that the implementation of the upward review would take effect in the 2022 to 2023 and 2023 to 2024 academic sessions. In a related development, academic activities were halted at the University of Calabar on Monday following students' protest against the 100% hike in the institution's fees. The students who embarked on a peaceful protest to register their dissatisfaction barricaded roads leading into the campus, thus preventing workers from coming in. The protest also caused heavy traffic jams on the roads, compelling some motorists to make a U-turn. The protesters, who were no fewer than 100 in number, clutched fresh leaves while others displayed placards with different inscriptions. You're watching Global TV News Prime, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Don't forget we're on StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the News Prime returns, Mount Merapi 11 hikers killed as volcano erupts in Indonesia. The news continues shortly with details of this and other stories right after this break. Please stay with us. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Prime from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The President of Guinea-Bissau, Umaro Embalo, issued a decree on Monday dissolving the parliament after an attempted coup in the West African nation. Violence had erupted between members of the National Guard and Special Forces of the Presidential Guard on Thursday night in the capital, Bissau, leaving 2 people dead before the army ordered its forces back to barracks. Embalo, who was in Dubai attending the COP28 climate conference, arrived back in Bissau on Saturday and announced that an attempted coup d'etat had prevented him from returning earlier. On Monday, he said there had been complicity between the National Guard and certain political interests within the state apparatus. That meant that the normal functioning of the institutions of the Republic has become impossible, he added. On the foreign scene, the United States, USA, has applauded President Bola Tinubu's administration for taking bold steps at bolstering the economy and ensuring sustainable growth and development. The charge d'affaires at the U.S. Embassy in Abuja, David Green, acknowledged the federal government's efforts. He said U.S. investors were delighted by the economic agenda of the current administration, recalling President Tinubu's visit to New York during the last United Nations General Assembly, which attracted officials of the Commerce and Cooperation of the U.S. Trade and Investment. The envoy said although the federal government was putting measures in place to stabilize the economy, more should be done to create an environment that would attract investors to the country. And Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan is cutting short her attendance at the COP28 climate summit amid deadly floods and landslides back home. At least 50 people in the northern Hanang region died after disaster struck over the weekend. The leader's spokesperson added that around 5,600 people have been affected. Homes and infrastructure were damaged by the heavy rains, which have also had an impact on farmland, directly threatening the people's livelihoods. 400 rescue workers have been sent to Hanang region. However, in a statement released on Monday, Yunus stated that the rescuers are operating under challenging conditions such as defective telecommunications and blocked, damaged roads. 11 hikers have been found dead near the crater of Indonesia Merapi volcano after it erupted over the weekend. 3 people were rescued on Monday. The search for 12 others missing has been suspended due to a small eruption. There were 75 hikers in the area at the time of the eruption, but most were safely evacuated. Mount Merapi, one of Indonesia's 127 active volcanoes, spilled ash as high as 3 kilometers into the air on Sunday. Authorities have imposed the second highest alert level and prohibited residents from going within 3 kilometers of the crater. The 3 people rescued, who were also found near the crater, were weak and had some burns. Head of the Pandang Search and Rescue Agency said 49 climbers were evacuated from the area early on Monday, many of whom also suffered burns. And a magnitude of 5.1 earthquake struck just about the south of Istanbul on Monday, rattling parts of Turkey's largest city but causing no immediate injuries or damages. The earthquake's epicenter was in the Marmara Sea's Gemlik Bay, which lies about 60 kilometers south of Istanbul, near the city of Bursa. According to the AFAD emergency service, Turkey's most populated city is situated near the North Anatolian Fault, one of the most active in the world. And in India, rains lashed southern India's city of Chennai ahead of the landfall of a powerful cyclone, with roads flooded and cars submerged in floodwater. Cyclone Michaung will hit the Andhra Pradesh state's coast on Tuesday morning as a severe cyclonic storm, packing winds of 90 to 100 kilometers per hour. Winds with gusts up to 110 kilometers per hour, the Indian Meteorological Department is set. And 6 Thai hostages kidnapped and held for weeks in the Gaza Strip by Hamas will arrive back in the kingdom on Monday. Tens of thousands of Thais were working in Israel, mostly in the agricultural sector, where Palestinian militants poured over the border on October 7, killing 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and kidnapping roughly 240. According to Israeli authorities, at least 32 Thais were abducted by Hamas, with Bangkok's foreign ministry and Thai Muslim groups working to negotiate the release. On Monday, 6 are expected to land at the capital's Suvarnabhumi airport following weeks in captivity. Since their release, the group has been recuperating at a hospital in Israel as authorities have made preparations to fly them home. In business, the federal government says it will soon commence disbursement of funds under its presidential palliative program targeted at alleviating the impact of the fuel subsidy removal. In a statement signed by the Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Uzoka Anite, said the programs consisted of the Presidential Conditional Grant Program and the Presidential Palliative Loan Program. For the Presidential Palliative Loan Program, it said the federal government will disburse 75 billion naira to micro, small and medium-sized enterprises across various sectors, and 75 billion naira specifically to manufacturers. The loan will be administered to the beneficiaries at the single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. The federal government has settled 52 million naira in fines and compensation for 399 inmates at various correctional centers across Kaduna State as part of its efforts to decongest the centers. The Comptroller of Correctional Service, Kaduna State, Ado Saleh, disclosed this during the inauguration of the initiative at Zaria on Monday. He said that 110 inmates were earlier released at the Kaduna, adding that the ceremony in Zaria was a continuation of the program that was designed and implemented by the federal government. In total, 399 inmates in Kaduna State were marked to be released at the cost of 52 million naira. He added that each of the beneficiaries will be given 10,000 naira to pay its transport fares. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, has granted taxpayers and businesses full waiver on accumulated penalties, and interest for outstanding tax liabilities. Chairman of the FIRS, Zach Adedeji, disclosed this in a press release issued during the weekend and signed by his special advisor on media, Dare Adekombi, noting that the waiver of interest is subject to the full settlement of outstanding principal on or before the 31st of December 2023. The FIRS boss acknowledged that the concession, also in line with the commitment of President Bola Tinubu's economic agenda to support business to thrive, reiterating that the full penalty and interest shall be reinstated after the expiration of this one-off concession window. The Lagos State government has set the target of reducing methane emissions in the state by 15% to 20% in 2030 and 45% in 2035. The governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, disclosed this during the local Climate Action Summit, a side conference organized by the Subnational Climate Action Leaders Exchange, SCALE, at the ongoing 28th session of Conference of Parties COP28 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. He said Lagos independently invested personal funds to double its efforts in material waste recovery, resulting in a waste processing capacity below the specified benchmark. The governor noted that there is an emphasis on the necessity for Lagos to establish infrastructure capable of processing 6,000 to 8,000 metric tons of public waste daily to mitigate organic methane emissions. Crooked attempts by drug syndicates to export illicit substances, including various quantities of methamphetamine and opioids concealed in hems of new jeans trousers, dolls, buttons, local soap, and tins of Miller beverage to Europe, United Arab Emirates, and Asia have been thwarted by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, at some courier firms in Lagos. This was made known by the Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, and made available to journalists in Abuja. A shipment of another illicit substance coming from Florida, USA, was equally intercepted at a courier firm, while the recipient, Daniel Ogi, was tracked by NDLEA officers and arrested at 5 Akim Shitu Street, Jao Estate in Lagos on Friday, the 24th of November 2023. A team of the NDLEA operatives also intercepted a vehicle at Oyingbo area of Lagos and recovered 108 kgs of cannabis from it, while 675 kilograms of the same substance were recovered from the store of the wanted dealer, Wahab Olota, at Adedoja area of Mushin in Lagos State. Real Madrid right back Dani Carvajal is expected to miss the rest of the year after the club announced Monday that he suffered a calf injury in the weekend win over Granada. Spain international Carvajal was replaced at half-time during Saturday's 2-0 victory, which kept Madrid top of La Liga both surprise challengers Girona on goal difference. The club said tests revealed an injury to his left calf, but did not give a time for his return. The 31-year-old has been a regular for Carlo Ancelotti's side, captaining the team on a number of occasions this season. Still in sports, we'll join Sharon for more details.
Ahead of the second leg of the final round of the 2024 Women African Cup of Nations qualifier against Cape Verde, the Nigerian delegation of players, coaches, and officials have landed in Praia. The team's arrival in Cape Verde was confirmed on the Super Falcons official X handle on Sunday. The Falcons head into Tuesday's game with a 5-goal advantage. In a different development, coach of Niger Tornadoes Amza Abara has blamed his team's 1-0 defeat to host Doma United in an NPFL clash at the Pantami Stadium on Saturday on tactical reasons. According to him, his side lost following lapses that gifted Doma the hard-fought win. Abara, however, commended his players for their performance. Also speaking, Doma United coach Akinade Onigbide described the outing as tough but expressed delight at the final result. Sharona J reporting for Global TV News.
And that's it on Global TV News Cycle. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.